We're live on a Wednesday, and it's going to be a wonderful Wednesday in terms of sport. And what a time it is to be alive if you guys are an underdog. I say that because we saw it on the weekend in cricket, we saw it on Monday and Tuesday in football, and now we can literally look forward to the week with Mowgli. My name is Avnish Hegde, watching the Hegde Everyday live, and I'm wearing my new Columbia kit. Ask me, chat, where I got it, because that is what I'm going to do. The live for, but also, of course, the underdog story. Like I said, lots of people are just DMing me on Instagram after my latest reel. Go check that out because it did not just bring smiles, but curiosity in the comments. Where's this shop, bro? What's the location? There are a few people who also said, listen, please gatekeep this address. So I don't know what to do. You guys let me know in the comments. I will start off my show by telling you guys to quickly like and subscribe and tell a friend about the Hegde Everyday live show, right? So much has gone on. What do I start with? Cricket, football, or tennis? Because tennis, of course, started day before yesterday with the Wimbledon going on. And it's riveting to see. I mean, Djokovic just got through last night. I'll come to it in a bit. And I want to do a proper tennis chat with one of my good old friends at cricket.com. So hopefully I can get him on at some point in time towards the business end of the tournament. Sanjay going mad in the comments, and good to see you, Sanjay. Let's go today. Norway versus Ivory Coast. Who are you supporting? Are you supporting Amad Diallo or are you supporting Erling Haaland? Every time I think about Amad Diallo now, it makes me think of the reel that I took down. I don't know if you guys saw the latest episode of Divas, and this girl very sweetly messaged me on Instagram saying, you got to take it down. And I was like, why? You look good. And of course, you've spoken your mind out. You've been fantastic to share your ball knowledge. So why not? And then she was like, can't tell you, but just can you take it down? So I was like, yeah, fine, fair enough. So I had to kind of sacrifice 150K views, but it's okay. Getting to 100K nonetheless, thanks to you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. France versus Sweden. France it is, saying boss forever. Boss forever, be honest with me. Are you actually watching the games in the middle of the night? Because look at my eyes, there are dark circles forming since the 11th of June. And you know what? Like my mom just a witness to it. They know exactly when I sleep, when I wake up, the sleep that I get. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm not even wearing my ring yet. And I made an episode on the whole diabetes chat. If this really tells me how I'll sleep during the World Cup, oh my God, it'll be absolute pittance. Anyway, we'll talk about cricket first, and then we'll get to the football chat for sure. Haaland, because of Man City, saying Sanjay meanwhile, and Muzain saying, sup, mate. How are you, Muzain? Has your day been good? Has your week been good? Give us a wave in the comments. And of course, thoughts about sport in general. Tell me who you support, so on and so forth. How about you make a give jersey? I will actually planning to do lots of content after I've stumbled upon this shop. That guy has 45 countries in terms of jerseys. And it's not like the previous shop where I showed you, and no disrespect to that guy. He was selling basic jerseys for $350, but this one has embroidery, stickering, good detailing, and not just Colombia, guys. Ghana, Mali, Morocco, Algeria, the works. I'll put another reel out, I think, tomorrow, and I'll probably then go around giving random people in Bangalore football jerseys, because I just generally want to promote the sport because it's that season. People can get into it. I did a video with an auto driver and he was like, I'm not going to subscribe to Z5. So it is what it is. So Sanjay is saying, what's your thoughts on Paraguay, Germany? I'll come to it because that's part of my whole show today, the underdogs. And that's why I love sport. We all have our teams. Some might support RCB, Portugal, Argentina, CSK, whoever you might support, Mumbai Indians, who knows, England. But when you guys are watching a neutral game, everyone supports the smaller team. Whether it's the child in the house, the grandmother, the mother, the father, everyone likes a good underdog story. And that's what makes sport much more compelling and riveting. We saw it with Brazil, Japan, how Japan really possibly could have thrown Brazil out of the tournament. It required Carlo Ancelotti and his calmness, his tactics to get them over the line. We'll speak about that also in a bit. And let's go. We're close to 10 viewers. High five, Sanjay. Sanjay knows it all. And to be fair, going forward, if YouTube blows out of proportion for me, I'll never forget that Sanjay G1E3N. I hope I got that right. Please tell us about the jersey shop, Hegde. Right, Vishnu Reddy wants to get into it. So I'll start there, and then we'll get into the football, cricket, and tennis chat. So I went to Jayanagar for a meeting today, and I didn't have my car, so I took an auto back home and talking random things with the auto drivers as normal as I do. And I was actually starting to watch the Netherlands Morocco highlights on my phone, and I was near Richmond Town. And I'm talking to this guy, and he's just like, "Yeah, I don't watch the World Cup." But then he mentioned the whole Ronaldo bit. Then he's told me how much he's stayed up to see Ronaldo's games in Saudi. He's been to the Gulf before. Great story. And I told him, you know what? Let me just go buy you a jersey. And I was pretty sure that he wanted an Al Nassr jersey, not a Portugal jersey. I tried to push him to Portugal because I'm a Portugal fan. It's not like I'm a biggest Al Nassr fan, but I was a Al Nassr fan for Ronaldo. So anyway, long story short, quickly take a right on Rest House Road, go to Brigade, and that Tibetan Plaza shop, which you guys know, and Bangaloreans, OG Bangaloreans would know. I saw Brazil's jersey outside the shop, and I said, okay, fine, let me go. I had no idea that this shop has all the jerseys. I basically know that, sure, in these sort of places, you get football jerseys, you'll get maybe like the odd Ronaldo Messi jersey, and I was like, cool with it. Go in there, and I was like, wow, this is paradise, because the one on MG Road is just a basic one. It's $350, and literally, like, maybe even if you wash it after 7-8 times, it just goes away, I think. This one, I don't think so, because I honestly feel like I wanted to like give you guys this jersey via virtually to just feel the fabric and stuff. It's fab, and it's at a steal of a price. He asked me not to mention the price because essentially it's under 2,000. That's all I'll say. But if you buy in bulk, you guys will get one hell of a deal. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is your time to actually wear different jerseys. It could be a Scotland kit, a Wales kit, a Germany kit, an Argentina kit. They have so many in there. And I generally want to buy random 10, 15 jerseys and then go approach people and put a smile on their face through a jersey. And I'm pretty sure they will keep it because not many people own a football jersey, let alone watch the sport or play the sport. So this is some way to get people together, and sport is the best tool for that, right? So it made me kind of feel happy for the auto driver. He was just joyous beyond belief, and he told me that he'll now start playing football. So it has a ripple effect as well, right? When you give people stuff, they start thinking about it, learning more about it, educating themselves about it. So that was my whole objective today. And of course, smiles and views on Insta is just a byproduct of the whole thing. So anyway, go check that guy out. I'll probably put another jersey reel out tomorrow because I've got some great content in there. I met a guy who was from Portugal in Brigade Road, and he was going to buy the Argentina jersey, which was like, what? That's blasphemic. I mean, come on, man. You're from the Algarve and you're buying an Argentine jersey. So anyway, really, really kind of enjoyed that time there, and plenty of reels that I've got from that shop. So I'll leave that chat there. Hopefully you guys will stop badgering me in my DMs, but I try responding to most of you all. Yeah, like so many people just ask me shop location, bro, shop location, bro. Like even the last reel, I mentioned it in the comments and I mentioned it in the caption, and people are still asking me, and I'm just like, read it at least a little bit before questioning me. Anyway, when you come into the KIOC Academy, asking Hunter YT18. I actually wanted to make a visit this week, maybe Thursday afternoon. I should be there. Today is what? Tuesday. Why am I saying Wednesday since then? I've literally lost count of days and like which day it is at times. So beg your pardon. The Wimbledon started yesterday. Today's Tuesday and tomorrow is Wednesday. I was the whole time thinking it's a Wednesday, but look at me. Anyway, KIOC probably Thursday afternoon. Just come there, have a stroll, look at some of the latest talents coming out of that academy. And there have been plenty of invitations from other academies since I did that live on YouTube, which is brilliant. Lots of people have asked me to come cover very sports as well, which is always a plus with the content that I'm doing. Muzain saying, is it a player version? What's the price in it? As in online stores like Full-Time on Outhouse, it has 1.2K. Yeah, it's that ballpark figure, 1.2K, 1.4K, depending what jersey you buy, how many you buy. The shopkeeper also is a top lad, understands football, gives you the best bargain deals. So literally, I'm not having any sort of sponsorship deal with him, but I should, because the business I gave the last shop owner was ridiculous. I really love your content, bro. Thanks for making people smile, saying right in. Thanks for jumping on the YouTube platform, guys. Really appreciate it. Tell a friend about it because I know everyone knows me on Instagram, and even people. Sometimes I should be very careful in terms of my devious sins on the road because people just be like, "It's your egg day," and I'm just like, "Oh shit, you caught me at the wrong time." If you guys know, you know. And even a guy at the traffic signal just literally stopped his bike to say, "You're doing a fab job." Anyway, grateful and humbled for that. Aryan in the chat saying, "Do you also watch basketball?" Now that's one sport which has evaded me, my friend. Cricket, football, tennis. I've in fact binged on paddle highlights at times. And of course, the Olympics, I'm a sucker for it and can't wait for LA 2028. But point is, not basketball, unfortunately. I, in fact, probably prioritize golf about basketball, but I'm going to definitely get pelters in the chat. I don't play it as well. I can't say I love playing it because it's ironic because I'm 6'2", and that's one sport which is predominant in my school, but somehow never took to it. And I was a football cricket guy. But nowadays, whenever I see kids play basketball, I always kind of have like a little 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 with them for like 5 minutes. So yeah, basketball content will also be there. But on Instagram, on YouTube, I'll try my best. Anyway, it's me, Rain267, saying, "Hey, Agdi, I'm a huge fan. Could you say hi, Arjun? And also, who are the 3 teams you think will win the World Cup?" Now, I did give a general prediction of 2 of my winner, of my dark horse, and my real underdog. So winner was Portugal, dark horse was England, even though many people would be like England's a contender. They always come there and choke, but I generally think if it's not Portugal, England will do the job. And my third team was Japan, who bowed out last night. I was making a reel of that as well before Brazil. My good old Casemiro with his header, and then Martinelli, I think it was, who got the winner. So it was pandemonium yesterday. Couldn't sleep, had an early morning meeting as well, but got it all in. Let's chat with the football, start with the football, because honestly, like I was saying, underdogs in sport is just the best thing ever. If it's not your team winning, that's the second best feeling in the world. And Irish fans sense that in cricket, which I'll come about. But football, Germany, Paraguay, bro. What the hell just happened there? Let me give you some crazy stats if you're a German fan. They talk about German efficiency, I should say. They've never lost a penalty shootout in World Cup history. And the World Cup's been going on for nearly 100 years now. It tells you how good the Germans are in penalties, and that's an understatement. There's another fun fact. The last German player to miss a penalty in a World Cup, guess which year? Guess. 1982, which is 10 years before I was born. So essentially what I'm trying to say is it was a shock. It was a seismic shock. So much so that Paraguay, who were thumped, by the way, in their first game of the World Cup, let's not forget that, USA, who are hosts, fair enough, have decent pedigree, they gave Paraguay an absolute thumping, 4-1. Now, Paraguay came out of the group, and they came out of the group having to face Germany. All the odds were against them. Now, they've got the result, 1-1, and you guys saw the game, so I'm not going to go into it. So much so that the Paraguayan country as a whole got a holiday today. Now, that's just fantastic, right? Like, I'm trying to think of that from an Indian equivalent. And I think only if India win like multiple goals will like people just declare a holiday and stuff. But I don't think they would do that in India, to be fair. And they wouldn't do it for cricket because we're so good in cricket. So it's just like a norm. But if India win the World Cup, if Paraguay win the World Cup, it'll just be nuts. But like a holiday. And they'll remember this day for the rest of their lives. Germany out. And that's no small fish. These are the 4-time champions. Think about Manuel Neuer. Think about Nagelsmann. Think about Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart, all the German cities. My friend Sabrina, they'll be absolutely pissed off with this result. And going out in the round of 32 is no great feat. The World Cup is bloody 48 teams, and it had 32 teams before. So the round of 32 literally is no oomph. And for the German side, they've really punched below their weight. And it's sad, but again, from an underdog perspective, great. Paraguay take a bow. Almiron and Senso, who got the goal. Fantastic goal, by the way. Fantastic goal. Go see all the highlights. Even if you guys missed the games, go see the highlights. Because one thing which captivates me about this World Cup is just the fact that the players enter. They've made that very, very cool. Fair people have their own reservations about the hydration break and splitting football into 4 quarters more than 2 halves. And I'll probably talk about that in greater detail at some point in time on my YouTube live. But my point being, the World Cup is just phenomenal this year. It's probably, according to me, one of the best World Cups I've seen. And I'm not just saying that of a recency bias. I'm saying that with great thought, looking back at my childhood, greater players then, arguably, but still, as a whole, you have everything in this tournament. Unsung heroes, sung heroes, unsung villains, sung villains. I mean, you name it, they've got it. And whether it's a script or whatever you guys want to believe, Infantino has won you all over. The prices of the tickets, by the way, is ridiculous. I won't go there. I'm trying to pick out the pros more than the cons. But anyway, you're 34 or 36, man. Do the math. 1982, and I was minus 10. Now more. Did you see the Indian team interview with Raj Shamani? And also, you're going to watch Norway's match in 15 minutes. I am. I was actually planning to do this live earlier, but then I had a gym session. Very good. Forgot my shoes, and I actually died because like it was cardio day and lots of jumping and stuff like that. But anyway, Nikhil, you've missed the chat. You've just entered the chat, but you missed the chat about the jersey shop because I've started with it. So maybe you can rewind and get started there before you come to the football bit. Right, Germany, Paraguay done. Netherlands, Morocco. Wow. Netherlands, Morocco was an early kickoff for us Indians, 6:30 in the morning. And I was thinking to myself, surely Netherlands have the pedigree here. I mean, they're 3-time runners-up of the World Cup. And Morocco, even though they've been the best African team for a while, it's unbelievable how, first of all, that game swung like a pendulum. Morocco, for them to get an equalizer at the dying embers in normal time is brilliant. And that's one goal that I personally love to score as a footballer. When people know me as Hegde the footballer, they know me as Hegde the Peter Crouch flick on man. And that's exactly what that man did for Morocco to make it 1-1. By the way, real shout out to Cody Gakpo, albeit he's a Liverpool player. I'm a huge United fan, but matters like what happened with him is, of course, much more important. May his child soul rest in peace. It's a tough piece of news to go through that. I mean, you wouldn't like to see that with anyone, but for him to score and then absolutely cry his heart out, that's motion for you, that's sport for you. And really felt sad for him and the Netherlands for them not to kind of make it through. But the penalty shootouts was another drama session there, guys. What was happening? I mean, the keeper, by the way, for Morocco, absolute star. His name is Bono, not the same one for you two, but Bono is voted, I think, African's best goalkeeper. And Morocco sometimes give you this illusion that they're not part of Africa, but they are. They're part of the African continent. Been phenomenal in terms of laying the gauntlet down for the rest of the teams in Africa to catch up with them. They are, of course, hosting the competition in 4 years' time with Spain and Portugal. So they will be ready to go even further. They made the semifinals last World Cup, bro. So Morocco, fantastic. Saibari to win it for them in that penalty shootout. He's been phenomenal as well up front. And he's been playing, 6 years for PSV in Netherlands. Have a look at the irony of that. So anyway, why did you choose Man United? It was a cold November evening in 2001 when I was sat in front of Star Sports, which is not the Star Sports today. It was an ESPN Star, and a United game was going on, and I just fell in love with them. Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Dave Beckham, the works. Ferguson with his chewing gum in his mouth. Didn't know exactly what football was, but I just thought those guys were my heroes automatically. So it unraveled from there and then read more about them. And it was just fantastic being a United fan, and still am. What do you mean being one? Always will be. What do you guys think of the Roy Keane, Erling Haaland? I mean, when I look back in hindsight, I mean, it's great because that was Keane's demeanor. He would never kind of forget. And for him to kind of think about it and do it, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I would say that because I'm a United fan, but like obviously City fans would have a different view, or other humans would have a different view and be like, oh no, that's way too cynical, but it is what it is. I think Morocco makes it to the final, saying Aryan. They play great in high-stake games. I mean, they were really good with Brazil in their first game, and they were running circles around them, to be fair. Portugal, Croatia will be close. What do you think? Saying Nikhil. Nikhil, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. Even though Croatia has not looked as good as Croatia of 2018, obviously they're all aged, more experienced, tired legs, but they have that Croat fight. And that Croat fight, you can see it in the beady little eyes of Luka Modric and players like that, essentially. So they can spur a surprise, but I'm expecting Portugal to really show their class in this knockout phase. And they've been bang average. They've been lucky to get out of the group, some say, and I wouldn't disagree with that completely. But I'm backing Ronaldo, backing Bruno, backing the rest of the lads. And that midfield has to come good at some point in time in the tournament. And I hope it's in the next game. So Portugal, Croatia will be a good watch. Hegde, it's my biggest wish to meet you, but third in the match, so I can't see you, saying Hunter. We'll figure out a place and time where we can meet. We'll probably do a meet and greet as well at some point in time, because I know this phenomenal love I get and I can't deny it. I can't sweep it under the carpet anymore. Did you see the Indian team? Yeah, I took this one and I've taken the other questions. You got to start watching basketball scenes coming up Bangalore, not gonna lie. F1, I do watch F1. The race was phenomenal, by the way. Just how it just went about it. And again, F1 now makes me think about another reel that I couldn't upload because a certain girl said, it's a good reel, but you just can't upload it for whatever reason. And I was like, damn it would have worked brilliantly. Bharat M saying, hi, Avnish, I fear Spain more than France. Is there merit in that? There's, of course, merit in that because they are the European champions. They have the brilliance of Lamine Yamal, who can change the game. They have, of course, quality in their midfield. Even though they play with a floating striker in Orzabal, I like the I like the look at their back four, to be fair, essentially. Young defenders, all kind of role modeling themselves around PK and Puyol. Let's see how that kind of goes through. And they've been phenomenal. I think they've not conceded a goal, haven't they? Clean sheet against Cape Verde and Saudi and Uruguay as well. So, yeah, Spain and their clean sheets. Portugal seems to have a good plan, as their history against non-European countries is quite bad. But they play great against European teams. I guess Roberto Martinez has got a plan of not winning. I mean, first of all, if Martinez does win the World Cup for them, or, for example, Ancelotti wins the World Cup for Brazil, or Tuchel winning the World Cup for England, they'll be one of those first ever managers to win a World Cup without being a national coach, the same country, basically. Every World Cup winner has had the same nationality coach. Scaloni, 2022. 2018, I think it was France who won it. So Deschamps. 2014 was Joachim Löw with Germany. 2010, Spain, and I think it was Vicente Del Bosque. 2006, again, Italy, and they had an Italian coach. So you guys get the point, essentially, right? And it'll be some feat if Roberto Martinez pulls it off with all his tactics. I think he's a little bit like a Belgian Southgate, not going to lie. He's not as gung-ho and kamikaze that you'd like him to be. But again, apples and oranges in terms of opinions here. Some people might agree and disagree. Do you think I love the community engagement today. I think all of you guys have come on purely because what the jersey scene is going to be, and now you guys have just stuck on for good conversation. By the way, I shouldn't just let this dictate the show because I have a show to run and I was finishing my whole football chat, which I will. And I know in another 6.5 minutes, it'll be Diallo v Haaland, a Manchester derby in one way or the other. Do you think the weaker teams often push the game to reach penalties, often with their 11 and back style play? Saying Aryan, the weaker teams put their life on the line here. You look at Canada, South Africa, you look at Brazil, Japan yesterday. Japan, honestly, giving it their all, knackered some of them at the end of the game, but they were still going, huffing and puffing, still kind of putting so much energy into the game. Because one thing is, this is a FIFA World Cup. Some of the players might not play a World Cup in 4 years' time. Some of them are playing their last World Cup. Some of them are playing for their country, so they know it's different for a club. So that obviously is much more. You have the hydration breaks factor, so you can get those 2-3 minutes of a breather as a player. And some of the teams, like you said, are parking the bus and probably just going to go route one or counter attack, depending on what weapons they have in their front three. And we've seen it with different teams, different tactics. And I love it. Absolutely love it. Like we saw even Canada, South Africa, and I generally made a comment to my friend who's watching with it. And I was like, it's end to end. It's like basketball, but it's a FIFA World Cup, if you guys know. Aisha Tanzim saying Ballon d'Or for me. Depends, yeah, honestly. Like you look at the Champions League going to PSG, will Dembele win a back-to-back? Would you give it a Rice for winning the Prem? And if England win it, it depends on who wins the World Cup, to be fair. It really does. Abnish, what's your ideal Portugal 11 saying, Bharat? For the Croatia game, would I make any changes? I wouldn't make any changes. Sorry, I'll take this one from Sanjay in a bit. My ideal Portugal 11 for the Croatia game would be no changes in the back four. I'd like the centre-backs of Ruben Diaz and Inacio to just probably have better understanding. Nuno Mendes is fantastic on the left. Cancelo on the right. The three in the middle dictate play, and they're orchestras. Literally orchestrators of the ball. Beg your pardon, not orchestras. They can't be an orchestra by themselves. They're orchestrators of the ball. And Vitinha is like glue. Bruno goes forward as much as possible. And on the right, I don't like this inverted winger stuff. I've never been a fan of it, but it is the modern philosophy. And I think Leao is what I would go with on the left. And I would start him rather than bring him on. I know he's fantabulous when he's taking on the right back who's consumed so much of energy during a game. But I would start with Leao and I would bench Felix. And I would start with Cancelo on the right. That's my team, and Ronaldo, of course, up front. And I've spoken a whole show about Ronaldo, so don't rage bait in the comments. Go check that show out. Why I think he should start for Portugal. A lot of people have been asking me in various places in the paddle court. The other day when I went for a run as well, where I was wearing the Ronaldo jersey, and they were like, be honest, should he start? And I was like, 100% he should start, because form is temporary, class is permanent. And how many times have we seen that? And I know he's got his powers on the wane, and Messi's doing Messi things while Ronaldo's not getting the accolades right now. But every dog has its day, and that's why football is brilliant. So just wait and watch what's going to unfold in the next 20 days, beg your pardon, because it's going to be chaotic. What about João Felix? João Felix, I'm a fan of him. He's quality, don't get me wrong. But like in this World Cup, even the Colombia game, he had a couple of opportunities where really kind of didn't stick for him. So I personally feel I would start with Leao, Cancelo, Ronaldo, and of course, Vitinha, João Neves, and Bruno in the middle. What's your squad tomorrow versus England, man? Saying Arun Tripathi. England, again, if you ask me to pick, what he's done with that back four or back five is try to keep it as stable as possible. I know he made a change or two after the Croatia game, but he's trying to figure out who's got the best rest and recuperation, how their seasons have played out, how he kind of chose Madueke over Saka, various things. But if you ask me, I would probably I'd do it slightly differently, because I actually liked the fact Bellingham was playing in 8 when Rice was rested in the last game with Anderson. So they can actually do a 4-4-2 if they want, and throw Tony up front, which offers a different problem, purely because DR Congo are going to sit back, Dr. Congo. Or you could probably have the same 4-2-3-1, Bellingham the whole, probably Rodgers of the left, Saka on the right. I would like to start Rashford again, actually, and then Kane up top. So there's my England squad. What do you think about the reasons for Japan losing to Brazil yesterday? I mean, Brazil just had those wave of attacks after the second half, and Ancelotti had an incredible disposal of substitutes where he could bring on. I mean, even when Casemiro went off in the end, Fabinho came on, and albeit Fabinho doesn't play for Liverpool anymore, he's in the Saudi League, and you guys can say whatever you have to say, but Brazil have quality to bring on. And people will argue that Japan would also have quality to bring on because they had fantastic Premier League proven talent on the bench, which they didn't start with. But it was just class coming through from Brazil. I mean, maybe, I don't know how you can probably put it down to, but I felt bad for Japan. It's fine moments and fine lines in the game. Keeper makes a good save, tipped onto the post. But again, fantastic from Bruno Guimaraes, by the way. 4 assists this World Cup. So the most so far, and keep account on that. Bruno and assist. What's with that, innit? Hey, I met you at social a few months back, saying Muzan. Did you now? Fantastic. And Jao Felix better than Pedro Neto for daily life journey. Bharat saying no Maguire, no party, Mank not English. Yeah, I mean, when no Maguire and Shaw from the World Cup squad, I was just like, am I going to be supporting England? But then I was like, Kobe Mainu, who's also not played. So, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I was asking for the T20 squad for India versus England, bro. Oh, my bad. Which we'll get to cricket. That's a perfect segue into cricket right now, because as much as I like to discuss the FIFA World Cup, and what's the FIFA World Cup? Can you please put the TV on mute? And that's a sincere request that I made across the hall. Because I'll wrap up really quickly, guys. 5 minutes on, and then I'll probably go watch the World Cup. But India-Ireland, let's talk about that, because the thumbnail suggests it, and of course, the title as well. Now, what happened there? We've gone to Ireland to play a 2 T20 international series, which is, first of all, bizarre. I hate the concept of these 2 games. You either play 3 games or none, or play a one-off after a long tour. There's 2 games. I don't understand it. Fair, it's a dress rehearsal, or it's a curtain raiser, I would like to say, to the India-England tour. But India losing to Ireland 2-0. And unfortunately, they were too good for us. The second T20 international I saw with much more focus, if that's the right word, because there were 2 debutants, and I was looking for one debutant, and he's not got it yet, which is Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and I think he will debut in Durham tomorrow. You mark my words here. Tomorrow he starts in this team for India. 5 T20 internationals, and it'll be madness. It'll be mental. Honestly, I was losing adjectives right now because the FIFA World Cup's already on. If we can mute it and me not getting any more copyright strikes, would be great and much appreciated. But anyway, point being, India-Ireland, if you guys missed the series, fair, but just go watch the second T20 highlights on Sony Live. It'll be baffling. Our catching was woeful. We were schoolboy-esque. There was a moment where Tilak Varma is exchanging strike with Ishan Kishan. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. He's left him halfway down. Direct hit. Honestly, Ireland looked like they were playing T20 cricket way longer than us. And Shreyas Iyer, his first series as a T20 international captain for India, it's not gone well. It's not gone well, mate. And I know you're probably not going to see this because you banned me on Instagram, but it's a tough one to take, Shreyas. And fair play. I mean, they threw in 2 debutants in terms of Shergay and Prince Yadav, who had okayish games, but India on the whole, to lose to Ireland, albeit away from home, it was the best cricket weekend the Irish have seen. Let me put it that way. And fair play to some of their players. If I mention the name, Jay Mundra, automatically you guys think some businessman, some real estate tycoon. He's the guy who's bowled India to back-to-back defeats. Jay Mundra, dibbly-dobbly left-arm pace, and literally got the best of our batters, which was incredible. Shout out to Humphreys, who also bowled like good left-arm spin for Ireland. He's like their Krunal Pandya. And eventually it did seem closer than it looked on the scorecard, but India were really, really miles off. If they take on England, let me just quickly check the India-England squad. By the way, some crazy stats from that game, India-Ireland, because India have never lost Ireland before this. It was quite wild that they did. And India lost that second T20 international by 1 run. And I kept thinking to myself, surely India have lost a couple of other games by 1 run in T20 internationals. And then I was right, because Crick Buzz, I think, had it for me. 2012, New Zealand and Chennai. I don't know if you guys have seen that game. Go check that game out. Kohli's played his mind out, 70 or 40 or something like that. Gets out, and I think Dhoni botches the chase, which is rare, but go check it out, those highlights. 2012, New Zealand, Chennai. The last time we lost by 1 run. And, sorry, before that, we also lost to West Indies in Miami, 2016. That was a KL Rahul 100. And again, I think Dhoni botched the chase, so wild. I'm not going to be throwing Tala under the bus. I won't dare, because I know some people will just throw me under the bus, pun intended. No worries. If you don't read my comment, I understand, because even I got to watch Norway Ivory Coast. Sorry, I just read this right now. I just read this right now. Plan a watch along for the Portugal-Croatia game. Can't wait to listen to those biased commentaries anyway. Saying Bharat. I should actually do a watch along. And I might do one. But Portugal-Croatia, by the way, you tell me, would you even join me for this watch along? Because it's 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 or 5 in the morning. So it's like one of those where either do I stay up, do I not stay up? And I think many people will be like, just sleep and wake up. But it's tough, man. It's tough to wake up in the mornings. Hey, I took that one. And yeah, good to see lots of new people in the chat. Please tell a friend and subscribe if you guys are new. Cricket chat was done. Tennis chat I started about. And I'm actually going to tune into Serena Williams as well. What a way for her to come back into the sport that we all love the most. Wimbledon, lots will go on, and of course some upsets. Casper Ruud going out, and I think there was another upset. But get this, Naomi Osaka, who of course is phenomenal on court with her tennis skills, she literally entered the Wimbledon this time in a Japanese traditional kimono. And it got permitted into the Wimbledon purely because of course, dress rules. You have to wear whites, and she wore whites and she was stunning. This is followed, of course, by what she wore in the French Open, where she wore literally a gold dress, a shimmering, glitzy, glamorous dress to play a match of tennis in a Grand Slam. So she's bringing the fashion and she's bringing the heat and she's bringing the skill as well. So those are my few observations of day 1 or 2 of Wimbledon. More tennis chat, and I'll probably get guests along the way as well, rather than just me rumbling along for half an hour. Hope you guys have enjoyed this live. See all you guys tomorrow. And there's some fantastic reels that will be coming out in the next couple of days. Actually, all the time, because I know if I'm not happy with it, I'm not going to put it out. I'm going to put out one right now, which is RCB related. I won't say anything much more about that. Now, maybe an hour from now, because I still got to edit it. So show some love, smash a like, and tell a friend about the Hegde Everyday Live YouTube page. There's lots more random stuff to come indeed. I've not started YouTube Shorts, so it's just live. You might not stumble upon me as presumed on YouTube, but it is what it is. Last comment of the day, and then I'll say goodbye to you all. Watching Cape Verde play was the biggest joy of this World Cup. Would love to see an upset. Argentina. You know what? By the way, let me just tell you this fun fact before I F off from here. England-Ghana, you guys saw that game. It was 0-0. There was a witch doctor in the stand, a Ghanaian witch doctor, who put a curse on Harry Kane to not score. And now that witch doctor got his wish right. Kane didn't score. In fact, had a hideous miss towards the end of that game. And he was later interviewed in terms of any more sort of spells this World Cup that he's going to cast. And believe it or not, he believes Cape Verde, little Cape Verde, are going to take the mighty Argentinians down. And that's going to be fascinating to see. That's this week as well. So let's see if Messi can mysteriously meander his way through from the Ghanaian witch doctor. It'll be incredible. Udapa 13, Santosh, my boy, saying the curse is now Harry Kane to play for Barcelona. It's Anthony Gordon, mate. It's Anthony Gordon. But let's see how it all unfolds. Shout out to all you guys who joined me in this chat. And if in case you missed it, you guys have missed a lot. So rewind it, soak it all in, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. basically. Cheers.